Thought we had a real good week of preparation. That's the thing that I was really most proud of and excited about is, the response, obviously, coming off a tough loss. I thought we had a real good week. We felt like there were a few keys to winning this game. Our defense did a really good job. These guys rushed the ball very well. They've been averaging, I think, 140 yards a game, and it becomes more difficult when you're in one of those games. I thought that was important, and then certainly the takeaways. And, we had a lot more explosives. There were just a number of things that we're going to like when we watch the tape, and then certainly there'll be some things that we'll need to clean up. But most importantly is, coming back after, after last week's loss. Any question?
Yeah, Sean, you talked about the response. It could go either way with a loss like that. It didn't linger. You guys played inspired ball. What were the keys to that?
Well, listen, I think it started early in the week, and it still gets back to the players and the makeup. It gets back to the things we keep talking about, the grit, the toughness. And this is a team that different from a year ago, kind of has that. And their response was really good.
Coach, Bo had 4 touchdowns, 300 yards, completed more than 80% of his passes. What'd you make of how he handled today?
I thought he played well. You feel like you're in good hands. He's smart with the football. He makes plays with his feet. There's a lot of times you're calling plays for certain looks. The looks aren't there. He's got that ability to create and all the while protect the football. I thought he played really well.
Coach, do you have an institutional knowledge of playing against the NFC South, or are you on some kind of revenge tour against your old division?
No. I mean, look, we're just focused on winning. I could say something smart, but I'm not going to right now. Anyway.
You sure you don't want to, Coach? The defense didn't allow a touchdown, only gave up 6 points. What was the key for them being so efficient?
Look, it started with defending 7. Man, he's explosive. Their wide zone scheme, they do a great job with. And if that gets going, then everything else falls in place for the quarterback. And we felt like the primary key to winning this game was when the game ended, who won the rushing battle. And we knew that they were a good rushing team, but they're a hard team to beat if you don't have an answer for him. And he's an extremely talented player. They do a great job by design. That was really important.
From the outside, it obviously looks like Bo is more comfortable in what he's doing each week. You've talked a lot about the pieces around Bo. So I guess where would you sort of put the credit for the run that
it's started? All, it's hard. It's hard to pick out specific things. I mean, we're blocking well. I think we have balance. I think the game, I say this all the time, your allies at that position are your defense and your run game. And I think the game becomes way more difficult if you're playing catch up. And so I think that, he's certainly settled in our third down, red zone. I mean, there were a lot of things he did really well tonight. And so there's his hard work, the hard coaching Davis and our offensive coaches spend each week on the game plan, and the players around him. Those guys we're finding new ways to get Mimsy involved, and he's making some big plays. And so it's hard to look at one specific thing, and it's a good question, but I think it's also our league. You're learning each week, and then pretty soon you're like, I belong here. And it's clear he belongs here.
Hey, Sean, straight back. You've said multiple times that you have a hard time figuring out the right recipe with 3 running backs. Is that still plaguing you a bit?
No problem. Yeah, it's just hard to feed 3. I just think historically I can't think, and so Yeah, I don't know that I have the immediate answer. I want to keep getting the young guy work, and yet Javante's young, and Jaleel, we kind of got going. I thought Javante had a real good night. And then some of the explosive plays were coming out of the passing game. We'll figure it out each week, though, and kind of plan accordingly.
Sean, what have you liked about Devon Bailey over these last 2 weeks?
I think part of what was holding Devon Bailey back was us. In other words, Josh was getting a lot of reps, and so it's sometimes just giving the player more opportunities. I think one of the things he does well for someone who's 6'4", he's low cut, so he's got like these 32-inch inseams and a long torso. And so when he comes out of his breaks, you don't feel a leggy player. You feel a sudden player, and that's a good trait for a tall receiver. And then the other thing is he's got extremely strong hands in traffic. He just keeps improving, but part of that is he's getting more opportunities.
How is Brandon Jones' injury doing, and how'd you feel about the way the secondary responded going against Kirk Cousins down a guy?
Yeah, I think overall, well, I'm sure there were a few mix-ups early on. Our guys we're all working to get healthy, Brandon included. And I think that overall it was a good team win. It was good. I mean, we played really well defensively, and we played well in the kicking game. We had some good return numbers. We felt like we'd have a chance in this game to have some return opportunities. And then overall, it was a good team win.
Coach, not only did you guys play well, but the ball bounced your way, challenges went your way. It was just like good football karma for you. Do you believe that if you just prepare the right way, things will even out or go?
He made the first down, so the challenge went my way. And if he didn't, it didn't go my way. I think, I don't know. I think if you're counting on the ball bouncing the right way, then I think you've got to work and eliminate that. He's a veteran official. We were sitting there, and we felt pretty strongly that he had got the yards to gain, and we were at a point in the game where it was an easy challenge. So outside of that, overall, we still had a few head-scratching penalties that we'll have to clean up. Yeah.
Hey, Sean, we've talked a lot about him lately, but Nick Bonito had a couple more sacks. He's always been good at pressuring the passer, and his success rate was really high. But what do you think has been the difference this year in actually getting to the passer?
Well, I would say, number one, and I'm guessing, but all right, so we played 11. I would, number one, guess that his snap count is higher. So I'd say more opportunity. He's stronger. And so with those additional opportunities, I think he's done a great job at taking advantage of it. And to his credit, he's a handful. And especially, he's one of those guys that bends well. And it's really helped us not only on third down, but on the earlier downs.